Hey friends! I'm back with yet another unboxing, I guess. I don't know what else to call this because it's more of an enveloping, but I don't think that's really a thing. This is a planner type video, and you know that planners are literally a day-to-day thing for me. I have planner spreads that I use for my weekly situations. I have a planner spread that I use for my daily to-do lists. Literally, quite literally, my whole day revolves around my planner. I constantly have one list or another going, usually multiple lists at a time, and I feel like without my lists, I just wouldn't get anything done because they help focus me and they help me make sure that everything that it takes to get from point A to point B is actually in place and not overlooked or, lost in the cacophony of life. That being said, I go through a lot of paper, as you can imagine, and that's not the most green thing. It's not the most earth conscious thing or sustainable thing. And since we're coming into April and Earth Day and everything else, I thought it was a good time to finally unbox this. I've actually had this for a few weeks now, and I hadn't opened it yet because I hadn't gotten around to it, to be honest. But I feel like now's as good a time as any, and so I want to share with you guys exactly what a Rocketbook is. Now, first of all, this is not Spawn. I paid for this myself with my own money. This is actually my second Rocketbook. My first one, as you can see, is pretty well loved. My husband actually got me this. You can have an idea of what the inside looks like. And this is just like a very slick grid paper. And as you can see, it's got a little QR code at the bottom of each page. So the way that Rocketbooks work is that you can write anything in Rocketbooks using a friction pen. So it's basically an erasable pen. And once you're done with that page, with that note or chart or whatever it is that you're doing, whether maybe you want to do a meal plan, maybe you want to outline your next YouTube video, whatever the case may be, party planning, etc., you can then use the Rocketbook app on your phone and you would scan this page. And with the QR code, it keeps track of which page it is, how many pages go together, and so on. Once you're done with that, you have a copy of the note on your phone that you can reference forever. You don't have to worry about losing the paper, losing the notebook, etc. And then you just use your eraser on your pen and or you can use a cloth that comes with it and you start over. So it's a notebook that keeps on giving. It never runs out of paper because you just keep reusing it over and over. Pretty brilliant, right? So this product that I am opening up today is called the Rocketbook Fusion. And what drew me to this is that it uses the same system of the pen and the scanning and the reusing the paper, but this one has templates pre-printed onto it. So it's more of a structured planner type situation, if you will. So I'm gonna open it up here. Okay, so now that I'm reading this right here that says wipe pages with water to erase and reuse, yeah, good point, Desiree. Scratch everything I just said about using the eraser on the pen, because actually you're not meant to do that because that might damage the pages. So yeah, it does come with this little cloth, and the cloth along with water is actually what you're supposed to use to just erase everything. I was thinking eraser because that's what I use on my planner. In my weekly spreads, you might have seen my planner videos before. My weekly spreads, I only use black InkJoy pens. But in my dailies, because I'm constantly scratching things out and replacing tasks and moving them to other days, I do like to use these friction pens. These are Pilot frictions. As you can see, you've got the little rubber thing here. This is the eraser. So yeah, in my regular day-to-day planner, I do use the eraser to erase the ink. In the Rocketbooks, you don't want to do that. You want to use just the cloth that it came with. So here's the notebook itself, and as you can see, it did come with a pen. I have them in all colors, but it's nice to know that if you're just starting out, it's gonna bring one for you, so you don't have to worry about running out and buying a bunch. You can just use the one it came with. Now off rip, before I've even opened the book, I like that it's much bigger than the one I'm used to because I write a lot, so the more space I have, the better. Let's open her up and see what's inside. Oh, right. So here's the other thing. You can see here there's like a key, basically like a legend. So in the app, you can organize it this way as well. So you can see, well, I don't know if you can see here from the camera, but the same little arrow is here, the diamond is here, and so on. So you can mark on the app that this is an apple page, for example. And maybe here you say apples are all meal plans. So then when you scan the page, the app is going to automatically file this away in your meal plans folder. And that way, if all you want to do is see your meal plans without having to wade through every page you've ever written in a Rocketbook, they're all going to be in that one folder because you've already organized it with your little legend here. Moving the notebook up because I just realized you guys couldn't see all that. So there's a better look, although it is quite faint. It's meant to be, but when you scan it, it's going to pop up on the app and you'll see all of those little icons, and you can set it up in the app so that, for example, like I said, the apple could be meal plans, the diamond could be budgeting, and so on and so on. And that way you can organize all of your spreads or your notes based on their category right in the app. So this first page has a template that says project, task, due, estimated time, and then a little check so you could check everything off the list as you do it. This is pretty cool. I like this again for like YouTube videos or even decluttering things and so on. And I also like that it's open-ended enough where you can really make it fit your needs, but still has some structure to kind of give you guidance and ideas of where to go, you know? And speaking of, this is going to be 2 weeks. So it's a weekly spread, but you can see 2 weeks at a time. And something like this, I really like for like breaking down bigger tasks. So for example, my son recently had an annual specialist appointment come up. And before that appointment could happen, we had to call his pediatrician to send over some test results, for example. We had to fill out forms. We had to refill medications and so on. So knowing that the appointment is coming up, say on this Friday, well, I can let myself know in advance, okay, so make sure on Tuesday I call the pediatrician, on Thursday I do the other thing, and so on, so that at a glance I have everything that I need to do for any given project, and I know for sure that each step is getting completed. And then once the 2 weeks are up, you erase everything and you start over again. Hi, Editing Does here. I just wanted to pop in and say real quick that I have actually found the best use for this double weekly spread here. I've been using it to plan out my Disney homeschooling videos. If you've been following along on that series, you know that every 2 weeks we change the theme of our homeschool activities to a new movie or a new ride, etc. And this has been great for planning out our daily activities where I can see everything at a glance, make sure to have all of the materials I need for the next day prepared, etc. So this has been great for that. So here's the same sort of a thing, but it's a monthly view. This is great for just regular monthly things, birthdays, meetings, appointments, etc. You could also use it for a meal plan. And then over here you have objectives, key results, action plan, and reflection. I feel like this is something more like business person oriented, and I'm fully not. But just because it says, you know, things like key results and reflections doesn't mean I have to use it that way. I might even like scratch these bits out and use this for my son's homeschooling. So I could say, for example, math, reading and writing, art, science. And I can just come up with different activities I want to do that week and kind of, you know, scratch them off as I do them, or write down a list of materials I'm going to need for each thing. Possibilities are endless. Here we have idea, rating, and next step. I don't know about rating your ideas or whatever. Maybe you're the kind of person that wants to do that, but there you go. You've got that, and then inspiration down here as well. And then it looks like we've got just a blank page here. And yeah, the rest of the book appears to be blank pages. Some of them are dot grid, and some of them, like the ones back here, are lined. So this I really like, because for the most part when I'm writing notes and lists and whatnot, I tend to just do like brain dump style, stream of consciousness, write. And then later on I'll say, what the heck is this? Okay, let's organize ourselves. And then I'll open up a new sheet and be like, okay, so it looks like I meant to do this. And if I want to do that, I've got to do this, and so on and so on. And I'll organize myself a little bit more. So having just a bunch of open pages to do with as I please is definitely very, very nice. So this is good. This is the best of both worlds. Like I said, it gives you some structure so that, for example, the monthly and the weekly, I'll probably use most. And this is going to give me a nice template that I don't have to worry about creating these grids every week because they're already here for me. But at the same time, if I want something a little more loosey-goosey and open-ended, I've got all of these blank pages ahead of me as well. So as you can see here, this kind of explains a little more about what's inside. It's got, like I said, 3 sets of page types. So we have the planner / calendar, the dot grid pages, and the lined pages. It reminds you only to use friction pens because if you use any other kind of pen, it is permanent. You have your instructions here on how to download the free app, setting it up so that all of your documents can go into the different folders if you so choose. Handwriting recognition, bundling pages into one file. So everything's explained right here. And then the coolest part, how to reuse it. So erasing it, keeping it clean. Oh, yeah, these come with a warning not to microwave your notebook because apparently the first generation of these, that's how you erased it. You just put the whole thing in the microwave. These are no longer like okay to do that. So they want to make sure that if you used to have an old one, it's not the same thing. You don't microwave these. Sounds like it would be common sense, but obviously not. But yes, overall, I really, really like this. I'm very excited to use it and kind of integrate it into my current planner and list making regimen, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm always looking for new ways to organize myself and keep all of my to-dos straight because I got a lot of to-dos on my plate. And if I didn't have a place to write them all down and keep track of them, I'm pretty sure I'd lose my mind real quick. So I'd love to know, have you ever used a Rocketbook? If you have, I'd love to hear your experience with them. And even if you haven't, I'd love to hear any organization strategies you have that you feel might be helpful for me or anybody else reading the comments. Make sure you let me know and we can all help each other out, I'm sure. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you'd subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!